All right, we're rolling. Yeah, we are. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Hala Pablo. Is this mic on? Um, yeah, I wanted to do a little update on Zcash and on PNG or Pangolin. Um, Before I start, yeah, I'm not a financial advisor, so you already knew that, right? But you never know. So you take everything I say with a grain of salt. Do your own research. All right, I don't have a crystal ball. So that said, let me show you what I'm seeing here with Zcash. So we had another little rally. You know what? It's formed conspicuously as a rising wedge on the micro fractal range. On the bottom, I have the 45-minute, and up here it's on a 12-hour. The 12-hour is a descending channel, and the micro 45-minute forensic is a rising wedge, is a rising expanding wedge. So, yeah, it's kind of you have a confliction here on these two different time frames. So, on the macro, we see that with the falling channel, the price action is now hugging the macro trend resistance line, where it's formed this kind of it looks like a cup and handle here. And so normally I'd be inclined to think this is an accumulation. This is a bullish accumulation upon macro trend resistance, and which means that it's trying to flip this to support this top line here. This here's the trading range, of course, with the yellow being the trading range midpoint of the zero point 0.5 Fibonacci. You see where it's come up through it, and it's touched the trading range resistance, which would be the $29, and then it came back down to the micro, or that would be the macro trend resistance, bounced back up to TRM, the zero point 0.5 fib, in which effectively flipped it to support. So now we currently sit at range midpoint, and we're wondering, is it going to go down? Is it going to go up? Are we going to consolidate? What are we doing here? So in this case, what I like to do is go to the volume spread analysis, to the VSA, and then we look down here and we see these very large demand spikes. We see two of them here. We notice that both of these demand spikes have taken place above TRM, or above the zero point 0.5 Fibonacci, within the channel, but beneath trading range support. So well within the channel, but in the upper half of the descending channel, but lower than the trading range. This, of course, would be the selling climax here. And if we were to do like a Wyckoff range here, this would be the SCLX. This would be the automatic rally, secondary test. Then we came back up, and then this would be the sign of weakness area in the latter half of the range. And so the fact that this here is taking place above the upper half of the descending wedge means something. It's a bullish bias, if you ask me, because we haven't fallen back down to macro trend support. We're up above and hugging the macro trend resistance line, but we've got this growing demand here. But the demand, here's the problem. All this demand is really producing a failure to rally above macro trend resistance. And so that's a lot of revving. That's, if you think of these volume spikes as auctions. That's how I like to think of it. Think of, like, you ever been to an auction and people are bidding on a object. Maybe it's like a car or a violin or whatever, and they're bidding, bidding, bidding. Well, all of this green, this represents people putting up their, bid cards, offering. The problem is there's a lot of bids, but they're all bidding the same amount and not willing to go over. And so you have the auctioneers saying, do I have anything higher than 200, or in this case, higher than $29, higher than $29. And you got everyone bidding, but no one's willing to go to 30 or 31. So there's a lot of action. There's a lot of bidding going on in the auction house, but the value isn't rising. So guess what, guys? That means that is a sign of weakness. That is a sign of overall weakness for price action. So although we are above channel midpoint and we sit atop the macro trend, it looks like it flipped it from resistance to support. Nonetheless, we are not finding value very much above the macro support line now. So we could fall back into the channel is what I'm saying. So now we go down to the micro fractal range, to the 45-minute, and I can even take it down further. But I think the 45 minutes it's a good forensic time frame. And so we're going to get more of like a insight. We're going to do like a closer up autopsy of what's going on precisely here in this area as the price action sits at the TRM, trading range midpoint. And this is what it looks like underneath the microscope. And what we're seeing now is a rising expanding wedge, which is, as you know, those of you who know these shapes, these patterns, this is a bearish pattern. This is a bearish pattern. We have the spread, which started off very narrow, now expanding. You see how the waves are growing, widening as this thing is funneling out. Yeah, that's a sign of impending distribution. So the volatility is increasing, and we look at down here, now we could do the VSA on the micro too, and we are seeing a predominance of demand. But again, all of this demand is especially this last part here. Let's see if I can mark this up so you can see these two spikes here. I don't know if you can see it, if it's going to show up. These produce failure to rallies. Look at all the effort down here. Again, all these bids are taking place, and then it's not producing much of an upward price action. We're pretty much staying on this line here, this resistance line. Now we touched up here prior, but this just bounced off the micro trend resistance and came back down. And we haven't been able really to make another stab up here. So all this, if you take all this into consideration, the micro plus the macro, yeah, we already kind of determined that this looking kind of bearish here, and it's looking bearish as well here now. So we got like a double bearish signal with the fractal range analysis. So I don't know if I'd buy Zcash at this area. I'd have to, it's going to have to do something. It's going to have to break some more support lines here, or it's going to have to go rather through some more resistance lines and really establish a position, say a top trading range resistance TRR. So anything above $30. If it comes up to $30, comes back and retests the $30 line, and it establishes strong support, and it's not able to go back down despite large supply bars, and it's not able to go back into the trading range, that's when I would start really considering establishing a position to perhaps swing Zcash. So my advice is to wait. That's what I'm doing. And in the meantime, earlier today, I did this is my Discord group. I put out a chart for Pangolin. This is Pangolin. And I put this out around 1 o'clock p.m. with my trading group. This is something that I was looking at. This pattern here, this narrow spread, this lateral consolidation with the arrowhead pattern with the rising lows and the falling highs here, coming to an arrowhead, this symmetrical pattern here, and then all this supply with it's not causing the price to go through the trend support line. I said, man, this thing is going to pop. This thing's probably going to pop. I went ahead personally and I took a position. I took a position down here at this red line. This is where I did my preliminary. I bought it. I forget what it was. Actually, I wrote it down, 0.85 or something like that. And I shared it with my group saying, hey guys, if anyone's interested, I think this thing is going to pop. I put looking to me like accumulation. If you swing this, be sure to set your limit sell. So I do give advice on what I'm doing as far as limit sell. I tell them my buy area and where I'm getting out. And in this case, I set my limit sell at the 1.618 Fibonacci. And so that was at 1 o'clock. And then here it is 3 hours later. We see it went, not only did it go through the 1618, but indeed it popped. It did what I thought it would. And, you know, I got pretty good return. I think I made like 11% or 12% on it. I just got out. I don't get greedy. I don't try to, you know, nickel and dime all this. There's always another trade around the corner. These are like a dime a dozen for me. So especially now with everything starting to flatline and get like this narrowing spread, I'm finding more and more and more of these. So if you're wanting to take part in some of these swings, I suggest checking out our trading group. And you never know what I'm going to find, and I'll put in the hot trades section of the forum, and maybe you could swing it and make some money. So if I go to the fractal range analysis, just to give you an idea of Pangolin, of where it sits now, it's still going. This sucker is still going. Look at this. So we're already up, man, I don't even know. It's gone up 100%. We're at 20 cents. So I've gotten out. I made my money on it. I made pretty good money. Now, of course, I could have made a lot more if I stayed in, but that's not the point. The point is these are readily identifiable patterns. If you know pattern recognition and line spread analysis, which is what I teach, and so. If you're interested in learning more, check out our trading group. I keep it extremely affordable, and you get timely Bitcoin, Ethereum updates, as well as Zcash and other coins that not a lot of people are talking about, but finance coins that I'm looking into, that I DCA in or I swing trade. So you're welcome to join me. You're welcome to learn how I do it, and check out my charts on TradingView. I have all my charting history there, 80 to 85% win rates. You could just, don't take my word for it. Look at the charts. The technical analysis speaks for itself. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. 12 minutes. I'm tired. It's night. It's like 9:45 in Dallas. So I need to go and rest. So anyway, I just wanted to put this update up and share these thoughts with you guys. All right, if you got anything out of this, like, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And we'll meet again. Don't miss any more updates. Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment. All right, guys. Adios. Have a good evening. Talk to you later. Strong hands. Bye-bye.